everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Live, Create and Sparkle. I'm Kate, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Cricut Explorer Air 2. Now, I am super excited about this because I've been wanting to purchase one of these for a long time, because from all the videos and things that I've seen, they are fantastic. I was quite pleased to get this in a bit of a pack. I got a bundle, I got these bits of equipment to come with it, with all the mats. It even came with a pen. The only thing I was a bit disappointed that it didn't come with was a scorer, but I believe that you can buy those separately should you want to use one. Somehow that opening so slowly, like gliding, really impressed me. And I have to say, I am a small compartment person. I really do love the little compartments and the little compartment pot there as well. I think that's really cool. It came with some paper to make your first project, and you could select a piece. That's the first project I made. I don't know if you can see, it's a little flower. You could choose, there's a few different images you could choose from. I just went for the flower because I thought it was nice, and I wanted to see like how it would do these like delicate bits of detail. I wanted to have a go at making a glass. I've just stuck this bit on here. This was actually a heart. This is meant to be, this is Cricut's own permanent vinyl, and it's in gold. I was not really that impressed actually, because it says permanent vinyl. I can quite easily peel it off, as you can see. So I have had a look online, you know, what to do, how to make something, because this, obviously you couldn't use this is an old glass, but you couldn't put it in the dishwasher because it's just going to come off, and you couldn't really give that as a gift. I was a bit disappointed with that. So I had a look online, I did some research into what to do about this problem, and I found that Modge Podge, it is a dishwasher safe gloss, and what you can do, I've not tried this yet, and I'm going to try in a minute when I do the demonstration, but this apparently will seal the design onto a glass, which is what we want to try today. There was the option online to buy a sponge to apply this to your glass and apply it over the design. That sponge was like £3, which I think was a little bit pricey considering it's a sponge. So what I'm going to do is I'm using a washing up sponge instead, and hopefully it will work, but I will let you know. So next I wanted to show you the app. Now this is called Cricut Design Space, and you use this in conjunction with your printer or your Cricut to cut out and make your designs. The vast majority from what I've seen, there are some free designs, but the vast majority of these actually cost something. So I don't know if it will. It's just gone blank. That's called the internet for you. But the vast majority of these are paid for, which some of them are actually quite expensive. And I think once, you know, I spent personally, when I bought the machine and then I bought myself some vinyl and stuff to go with it, actually totaled up to over £300. That's all fine, and you know, I can understand obviously paying for someone else's artwork or wanting to use someone else's artwork. Of course they want the money for it, but the costs do add up, which is a bit annoying. If we go onto Canvas, you can make your own design. Now, so here we're going to be using text today. You've got Cricut's own fonts. These are £4.29 each. I don't know if there are some cheaper elsewhere down, but £4.29 for a font is a lot. There are some free ones up here as well, which is great because at least you've got some free ones. But £4.29. I guess, yeah, if you buy it, you've got it forever, but it is still fairly expensive. So that's a bit frustrating. So today, this is what I'm going to be personalising. I've got a set of these. Hopefully in the summer we should be able to see friends and family again, and it'll be really nice when we can have up to 6 people in the garden. But of course we don't want to accidentally get our glasses muddled up when there's this horrible virus going around. So what I'm going to do today, what I'd like to do on this project, is to personalise these glasses, so that we've got one each, and that's what hopefully I will be able to try out the Modge Podge on these, and we'll see how it goes. I've added the Cricut cutting mat. I've just placed it there for now. I will open up the app and show you what I've done. So I have written, I'll click back. So on this space I've written my name because I want to do mine first, because I don't want to make a mess of a guest's one. I've put my name, and then in charge of the sweeties, because I am the one who's usually in charge of the sweeties. I'll show you here. This I really love about this is it does a bit of space saving, so I can print those out and I can cut that separately. But it's space saving, so you don't use too much material. So I know approximately when it comes to cutting out a piece of vinyl to put on the mat that it's not too much past the first square, and then about to the 5th square, so I can measure that up right, so I don't waste material, because when it gets stuck to the mat it does sort of tend to curl a bit when you pull it off. So I'm going to cut out a piece of vinyl and I'll stick that to the mat, and then I'll show you the next steps. Now I wanted to come back to this because I have been trying to get this out of the tube. I wanted to show you this. I've had to break the tube because I was hoping to keep this tube nice to keep it safe, but I've had to break the tube. I just cannot. This is it feels like it's been glued in, and I can pull that out, but of course, will it come out? So that's very frustrating. I can't get this out. I'm going to keep trying, and then I'm going to come back. I have got it out now, thankfully. It's out in one piece. However, I could put it back in there, but it's not the tube it was to keep it safe. Okay, so what I've done now is I have applied a piece of vinyl. You see a bit of dirt on the mat as well. These mats do pick up a lot of dirt. That's something that should be noted, but they can be cleaned. So I have applied a piece of vinyl here, and if you can see the dial over there, I have actually spun that around so it is on the vinyl setting. I'm not going to lean over now because I don't want to knock my camera over. On here, I can bring this back now. I'm going to click continue. I do believe I've cut a piece that's too big for this, but I'm going to click continue, and it will want to ask me to connect, so I'll connect there, and that's all done. Success connected. And it already knows that I've set it to vinyl, so that gives you a bit of a reminder if you need to change it. So in here there's no tool because we're only cutting today. Nothing required in clamp A, which is this. We have the pre-installed blade, which is in part B, and it says load map when ready. There's load map when ready, which is this flashing button. So then the app will tell you just to press the Cricut button to get it to go. Okay, so the Cricut machine has actually finished cutting now. Something I don't really like, it just makes a funny noise, almost like a really quiet dial-up tone. I can see it's flashing, but I can just hear this noise. It's not annoying, but I kind of like it makes me wonder, is it meant to be like that? And I can only assume it is. So that's that. I'm going to come back to that in a minute because I want to do this bit first to give this a chance to dry before coming to this. So it says in the instructions on the Modge Podge, and I believe you meant to do it on these glasses anyway, is to use some rubbing alcohol just to clean the surface before you apply anything. I don't know if hand sanitizer is rubbing alcohol or not, but we're going to go with that. So this is a spray-on hand sanitizer. I'm just going to give that a good spray. And I'm going to give the surface a good clean. I haven't actually seen how well this is done yet. I've not actually sat down to look at it. Something you need to do is clip and try that it doesn't fall on the floor. Yes, I have cut this way too big. The design is, there's a bit of a mark on there. I'm not happy about that, but it's the design kind of finishes just here. But we're gonna, that's okay. What we're gonna try and do is I'm going to use the spatula now, and I'm going to try and be as careful as I can here, because it would be nice to reuse this, because that's quite a bit of material just there. And then of course I'll be careful with these bits as well. So I have peeled this off. Now if you use a cardstock on the cutting mat, your design will remain stuck to the mat, but as this is, because you've got this set to vinyl, it doesn't cut all the way through. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually just going to cut the bit of the design I actually want out. I'm going to cut it into two bits. So we've got my name, and then In Charge of Sweeties as a separate bit, and then I've got this kind of all saved for next time I want to use it. So I've got these two now as separate bits. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove the bits of vinyl that I don't want. Okay, so I've been trying to remove the background. Like, this was quite fiddly. It could have been a bit bigger, I think it would have helped, but that was very fiddly. This, however, the writing is so small, it's just sort of coming off, sticking to my fingers. I've lost bits of it already. So I think what I need to do now is I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger, and try that again, because I've got some spare material anyway. Okay, so this is for me third time lucky. I've messed up the second go, and it occurred to me, do I need to use a different mat? The last mat I used was a light grip mat. This is a standard grip mat. So fingers crossed this time it should work. Okay, so I've pretty much remove this. This has taken me quite a long time to remove. You can probably see the E here that's meant to go there. It is very fiddly. It is set to vinyl. I don't really understand. Is it just that the blade's not sharp enough? Is it? I don't really understand, but it's extremely fiddly. So I'm going to, because a lot of these letters are now out of place, like you can see this I, and I still need to take out certain sections of, you know, like the inside of the O. So I'm going to do that now, but I wanted to show you that has taken me at least half an hour just to remove the vinyl. In other videos though, I have seen that it just comes off like really easily, so I don't really understand why this hasn't worked, but I will try and rearrange this back. Okay, so I've been at it. I think I've lined it up. So I've cut out the transfer tape, and what I'm going to do is peel this off and stick it onto there, and that should create our transfer. So I've applied that. It's a bit big, so it sticks to my finger. So now all I'm going to do is to peel this off and apply it to this. So this peeled off really, really well. I'm actually really pleased with that, because I was really worried considering how fiddly the vinyl was, and how, you know, how it was moving things about. It was, you know, it was really fiddly and not doing it properly. I'm really pleased about that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring it to here, rub that down. Okay. So I have seen these online. I did buy one of these especially for this. It's just apparently will help get out any of the air bumps. So it's the moment of truth now. I'm going to begin peeling, and hopefully, all well and good, it should stay in place. Okay, that's so nice to see. Oh, that's nice. I'm so glad. Can I just say, yes. That is a relief, because I wasn't sure, considering how fiddly the other bit was, how well that was going to go. So somebody up above does not want me to be in charge of the sweeties, I think. I'm peeling this off and bits are getting stuck. I'm trying to press it back down, and then bits are moving as well. So what I think is, because this was so fiddly to do, I wonder if it's because the letters just kept coming off of the transfer and then they're getting stuck back down. I wonder if that's why they're getting stuck to the transfer. So it's just like it's had a time to dry on the, or not on the transfer, on the paper. It's taken me, I'm just going to give up on this. I don't know if anyone knows why it's not working. Please just comment below. I would love to find out what's going wrong. What am I doing wrong? I'm quite pleased with this though. I'm going to now try adding Modge Podge. You are meant to add 3 coats, so I'm only going to do 1 today, and then allow it to dry. Okay. This is my Modge Podge. I'm going to move, well, I might move these across actually. This, as I said before, the Modge Podge sponge brush was £3 and I just didn't want to spend £3 on a sponge. So I've taken a normal washing up sponge and I've divided it into 6 with a pair of scissors. So I'm going to open up this Modge Podge. I'm just going to take my little sponge and I want to actually take some off here because I like to just not waste it, and I am so got a bit on there and I'm just going to sponge it on and see, and hopefully that should set clear, I'm hoping, but I'm just going to have to let it dry to find out. Hi everyone, so it's been a week since I started making this video and I had to try and find out why is the vinyl not cutting as normal. I did some research on the internet. It turns out you actually need a completely different blade for it. So I have gone and bought the premium vinyl blade. The Modge Podge has dried on this glass. There are a few streaks, but I think that's fairly sealed on, so I'm happy that that works. I have changed the design slightly, as we are having a fire pit, and of course that means obviously we're going to be having s'mores and marshmallows, and each member of my family who will be coming will have a different thing that they're in charge of. So I'm going to click make it, continue, click connect. Okay, so I have removed the vinyl from this, or the start of it. I've still got some of the letters to do. This, last time I tried this, it was very, very fiddly. I was having to push the letters back down and it was kind of, they weren't properly cut, but it's come off a lot easier. There was a little bit of fiddliness in places, but it's come off a lot easier. The only thing is I've lost a part of the speech mark, but that's not bad considering what happened last time. I have stuck on a piece of transfer tape onto the onto this vinyl. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attempt to peel this off. Hopefully it will work as well as it did last time. So the S hasn't come up. I'm gonna push it down again. It's not coming up. It's still not coming up. Maybe I'll try from this side, see if this side does any better. That's not come up. Got an E there, that's about it. Okay, so I have done the transfer again. I made it slightly bigger. Oh, going slowly with this. I can see that the end's a bit down. It's been successful. Once again, we did lose a bit of the exclamation mark. Oh, Is it an exclamation mark? Speech mark. And I apologise if I've been saying exclamation mark. This is tense, so I'm going to just try to put down the middle first. That is a very fiddly thing to do. I really hope that because that's definitely not smooth in plastic. I'm pleased with that. It has kind of done a bit of an arch, but I'm pleased with that. I have managed to straighten up that eye. All that's left to do now is to coat this with a bit of Modge Podge, and I think that this is going to be an excellent little glass. So there we have it. Voila. I'm trying to keep my camera as still as possible. Oh, maybe in this light I think you can see. Can you see these strokes here? And that was done with a sponge, but it doesn't generally look too bad. So I am quite pleased with how this turned out. I think sort of some final thoughts though on the Cricut, that's what the review is about. It doesn't really make it clear that, you know, you get, it probably does say somewhere, but I did not know that I needed a different blade for vinyl. I think it's fantastic. It does cutting detail really, really well. But of course, if you're trying to make your writing smaller than this, and you know, this is quite a nice size, to be honest, it gets very, very fiddly. Even this was just a little bit fiddly. So that was a bit annoying, and it would have been helpful if, you know, didn't lose like that little exclamation mark there. But it does look pretty well done apart from that, so I'm quite pleased about that, and I think that this will look great when we have our party in the summer. I suppose overall I do think the Cricut's worth it, even if it is a little bit fiddly. I do think it's expensive, you know, to buy the machine and then to buy all the parts to go with it. The vinyl, considering how much vinyl I got through just because of the mistakes, you know, and mistakes that are really, really easy to make, I use quite a bit of vinyl, and that's expensive. Then of course, if you want to use their designs, you're also having to buy those, or you can like subscribe. I think that gives you access to everything, but it gets expensive, and the cost does add up. But I think once you've got all the bits though, then at least you can just use it. So I think the machine, if you are into crafting, if you are wanting to make things like this, if you know, there are probably there's lots of other things you can make. Yes, I would say it's worth it. I would say the machine is brilliant, but I think it's also worth remembering that, you know, it can be time consuming if it's a bit fiddly. If the design is quite intricate, it can take a long time. And you know, I think they're just factors really to bear in mind, plus the costs and everything. But apart from that, I'd say yeah, if you're interested, like I really enjoyed it, and I don't regret buying it. Anyway, so that's it for my review. I will leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment if you like. If you have any tips, comment them down below. I would love to know them, as it might make using the machine a lot easier. Thank you very much. Bye bye.